How's it going, everybody? Andy McCullough from the Los Angeles Times here with Dylan Hernandez and Bill Plaschke, also of the Los Angeles Times. We are here from the site of Game 5 of the World Series. There will not be a Game 6. The Dodgers lost in 5 games to the Boston Red Sox. And Bill, I mean, this is what I wrote about today, and I believe it's something that the three of us all kind of, can agree with. In this series against the Red Sox, the Los Angeles Dodgers were undone by flaws that were obvious pretty much all season. It just took an elite team to really expose them.
Yes, and this is weird that this is the same final score, 5-1, as Game 7 of the Astros last year here in Dodger Stadium. So 2 straight years, 2 eliminations, 2 World Championships being celebrated behind us here. Not Dodger World Championships. Devastating to the players, devastating to the fans, devastating to the city. And yes, it all seems, like Andy said, a little bit fixable. We talked about the bullpen all year. We wrote about get veteran help in the bullpen. They tried to do it with patchwork journeymen. Didn't work. We talked about the lineups all year and how they change so much and there's so much variance. And the analytics say bench this guy and then start this guy. At the end of the day, I think the lack of continuity hurt their offense.
Yeah, or, the other way to look at it is maybe just kind of the lack of elite performers, right? Justin Turner plays every day. Manny Machado plays every day. Those are the only 2 guys who play every day. And I kind of think, rather than, because that's what teams who do things on the cheap do. Rather than invest in one elite player, they get 2 guys and have them share the role. And you kind of pay, you pay less doing that. And it's going to be interesting, I think, this winter as they kind of go forward. Are they going to continue to be the Tampa Bay Dodgers, or are they going to go back to being the LA Dodgers?
Do you call the Tampa Bay Dodgers in your column?
I didn't. No, because I wrote about Kershaw.
Oh, okay.
That sounds like a great off day.
But yeah, I think they're going to have some decisions to make about where this thing's going to go. Because they're going to lose some pretty big horses, I think, right, in Kershaw and in. Well, potentially, okay. Or, in Machado.
I don't think
Machado,
losing. I don't think losing.
I think we can all. I don't know if we need to get too much into it, but I think the 3 of us all agree Clayton Kershaw will be back.
Yeah, I think so.
That's the most likely outcome.
Yes,
right.
But he won't be back as the ace.
Yeah, but I think
Walker Buehler's the ace.
And I think Ryu not coming back is going to open up a bigger hole than people think. And I think one thing kind of what we saw this kind of postseason too is just how much the elite version of Kenley Jansen that we saw in the previous few years. How that guy really kind of papered over maybe some of the shortcomings in the bullpen.
Absolutely.
Right?
If you look at for me, what this series showed is you have increasingly shaky contributions from Kershaw and Jansen, who were kind of the pillars of this. And now Kershaw, had some good outings in the postseason, but he lost 2 games here against the Red Sox. And Jansen blew saves on back-to-back nights that were just sort of catastrophic and led to, sort of what a lot of people are going to leave this series talking about is whether Dave Roberts should still be the manager of the Dodgers.
The 2 people were booed tonight. Dave Roberts and Kenley Jansen, both booed. Yeah. I think Dave should. they haven't picked up his option. He's not guaranteed for next year. They will pick it up. They'll probably give him another year or 2. They should. What he's dealt with, 2 World Series appearances in 3 years of his tenure, dealing with their proactive front office. That's
proactive, more like meddling.
Yes, meddling.
Intervention.
But I call being nice to call it proactive. And dealing with a dysfunctional, destroying clubhouse culture. He's done it all very well. Dodgers need him.
Yeah, I mean, when I started on the beat, and maybe this was just a product of Dylan's vivacious reporting, but the Dodgers were considered to have a pretty fractured clubhouse, a group of guys who did not necessarily like each other, a group of guys who didn't always get along, who didn't seem to be pulling in the same direction, and that hasn't been something that's really been talked about a ton. There were some issues, kind of later in the year, this year, with all the guys being benched with the platoons and everything, but that's sorted out when the guys who were in the platoon started hitting. So I think a lot of that credit should go to Dave Roberts. It goes to the players for not hating each other, but also for Roberts, sort of fostering this culture that allowed the team to look. They were left for dead in May. They were almost dead again in August, and they won a division. They got to the World Series. It's hard to call the year a failure. At the same time, this was a hard team to love, and I don't know if they'll be remembered fondly.
Yeah, and I'm kind of with you, and again, kind of going forward too, right? It's kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier, with all these kind of platoons and stuff. I mean, ultimately, the reason the players were okay with it was because they won.
Right, because it worked.
Right,
it worked.
And the thing
David Freese was like amazing.
Yeah,
with Homer and every other at bat.
Well, but I think also a lot of it too was Justin Turner became Justin Turner again.
Yes.
Kind of performed like Justin Turner. Now he's getting older. Again, Machado's gone. Corey Seager's coming back,
What
but
are
we
you gonna
don't.
be
But
getting
we're not
from
really
him?
sure because of his physical issues exactly the kind of player you're getting there. And again, like I've always kind of thought, stars kind of decide games.
Yeah.
You saw
David
when
Price.
J.D. Martinez.
J.D. Martinez.
You pay for what you get. You get what you pay for.
But now the Red Sox will say, well, Steve Pearce.
Yeah, he was good too.
He was
You know,
MVP.
It's been
Serious.
so much fun.
But there's one change that we have to talk about.
yeah.
The biggest change of all the Dodgers. Andy, you can explain.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say it's been, tonight was my last night on the Dodgers beat. I'm moving into a new role here at the Times. I'm still going to be around, still going to be writing, mostly doing baseball, I believe. So, I'll still be haunting the newspaper itself. But these videos are no longer going to be my purview. I've had so much fun. How often was it in the off season this year where people were like, "Oh, I love your videos with you and Dylan." We're like, "Oh, that's deflating." but thank you, just to watching and to interacting with us. And yes, we're calling in a young
Call
stud.
him for the right-hander. Come on in.
Young stud from Worcester, Massachusetts, Jorge Castillo. He'll be your beat writer going forward. Jorge's going to say hello.
Come in the middle here.
What's up,
I'm gonna-
guys?
I'm gonna go.
No, you stay. You stay.
Oh,
here.
you're gonna stay?
You
Okay.
You stay.
Now we can do
guys.
the videos in Spanish now.
Oh, yeah,
Tell
we
them about
could.
yourself really fast, just to really quick. Where'd you come from, really quick?
Jorge Castillo. I was at the Washington Post the last 4 years. New York before that. I was covering the Wizards and the Nationals.
You covered the
DC
Nationals? Oh God.
for 2 years. The last.
So that
2
means you got
years.
good experience with this.
Yeah, he'll
So,
be perfectly primed for collapse.
So
It'll be great.
yes, I've been here for the last month plus. I was
Yes.
here for the playoff run.
Doing great work.
In the background,
Great
here,
work for
hanging
us.
out with you guys and learning the ropes, so on and so forth.
You'll be as nice to Jorge as you are to us, or hopefully nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So, thank you for reading and following all year long. I'm sure Jorge's got a lot of work to do tomorrow. I'm going on vacation, hopefully. But you can read all of the coverage of Game 5 in the pages of the LA Times, and you can read more at latimes.com/Dodgers. Have a great winter.